Delos Braton was born November 6, 1921, to Benjamin and Clara Braton. He was the youngest of 13 children, joining 6 brothers and 6 sisters. He was 6 months old on this snapshot. I wish he were here to narrate these pictures, as there would be many more things he could have told about his growing up years. Taken in May of 1922, the 7 Braton brothers, Samuel, Alfred, Walter, Lauren, Thorold, Norman, and Delos. This is Dell on the left and Armin Haug. I would guess they were patiently waiting for a ride. This was taken in May of 1923. How about these sporty cars? Here's Dell all dressed up in his Sunday best. He's 5 years old, a nice-looking, shy young fellow. Dell is busy hoeing corn. This was taken in July when he was probably 10 or 11 years old. The corn must have been knee-high by the 4th. Taken in the late fall of 1934, Dell was 13 years old and a 7th grader. This is the same fall, District number 68 and the 9 students. The students are Harold Shaw, Ethel and Howard Mitchell, Edna Johnson, Dell, Dolores, Floyd, Howard, and Robert Braton. Their teacher was Mabel Peterson, now our sister-in-law, Mrs. Lauren Braton. Dell graduated in 1940 from the Barnesville High School. There were 55 in his graduating class. After graduation, Dell attended Hanson Auto School in Fargo, North Dakota, and worked in Lisbon, North Dakota for Mall SuperValu and Holt Standard Service. In 1942, Dell entered the Army, serving in the World War II. Isn't he handsome in his uniform? This was taken when he was stationed in Trinidad, where he spent most of his time in service. He received his discharge in the fall of 1945. In January of 1946, Dell started working at Western Auto Parts in Fargo, and this is where I come into the story. I was employed as the secretary there. Romance blossomed, and on April 19th we became engaged. On August 24th, we were married in the Perry Lutheran Church, rural Portland, North Dakota. Many of the Braton family attended, traveling by way of school bus. We lived a short time in Lisbon, where Dell worked for Holt Standard, sometime in Barnesville, and in 1947 we returned to the Fargo-Moorhead area, where Dell was employed at the W.W. Walworth Ford dealership in Fargo, in the parts department most of the time as parts manager. The 13 brothers and sisters with their dad Ben, taken at Irene's and Fred's in 1948. Left to right standing are Irene, Alfred, Edna, Gladys, Lauren, Walter, Sam, Thorold, and Marguerite. Seated are Norman, Catherine, Ben, Rosella, and Dell. On September 21st, 1950, Deanna Lynn joined our family, a sweet little girl. On November 2nd, 1951, our family was joined by David Allen, a happy little boy. How do you like this nice stringer of fish? Proud fishermen Lauren, Norman, and Dell had a good day of fishing. This was in the summer of 1951. When Lawrence saw this snapshot, he recalled a neighbor of ours commenting on the nice catch and some remark about exceeding the limit. Well, legal or not, I'm sure they were delicious. The 2 little Bratons are growing. This was taken in 1954. In 1958, we, along with 2 of our neighbors, decided to buy adjoining lots on Bagley Bay, Lake Lida, near Pelican Rapids, just a place to go and have a picnic. The next year, we were bit by the building bug and started to build cottages. We enjoyed getting away from town, and one day, Dave caught his dad in one of his favorite pastimes, snoozing in his rocking chair. This was in the summer of 1971. Dell really enjoyed his times at the lake, fishing, skiing, and relaxing. On August 24, 1971, at Lake Lida, Deanna and Dave had a surprise 25th wedding anniversary party for us. A lot of our families were there. Years quickly passed, and in May of 1972, Deanna graduated from Concordia College in Moorhead with a degree in elementary education. She accepted a contract that fall in Crookston, Minnesota. She is engaged to Lon Larson of Moorhead. He graduated this spring from North Dakota State University in Fargo with a degree in architectural engineering. The spring of 1973, Dave graduated from Moorhead State University with a degree in advertising and mass communication. He started on-the-job training at the Forum in his senior year. He started in advertising and now is general manager. He is engaged to Cheryl Severson of Moorhead. She received her nursing degree this spring from Abbott Northwestern School of Nursing in Minneapolis. We're at the wedding times. On November 25, 1972, Deanna and Lon were united in marriage at Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Moorhead. They lived in Crookston for 2 years, where she taught school, and he commuted to Fargo, where he was employed by HUD. They spent some time in Minot, North Dakota, and they presently live in Hazen, North Dakota, where Deanna is with the Hazen School Library and Lon is with the Corps of Engineers at Riverdale, North Dakota. 7 months later, on June 16, 1973, Dave and Cheryl were united in marriage at Our Savior's Lutheran. They live in Moorhead. Cheryl worked full-time before the family arrived. When the children all entered school, she went back to work part-time at St. Luke's Hospital in Fargo, North Dakota, and Dave is at the Forum. A picture of the 11 remaining brothers and sisters taken at Sam and Gladys's in 1980. It's grandchildren time. On February 5, 1975, Matthew Todd joined Dave and Cheryl's family, our first grandchild. Exciting and enjoyable. On July 26, 1976, Deanna and Lon presented us with grandson number 2, Brent Gilman, another nice blessing. Another precious grandson, number 3, Michael Benjamin, joined Dave and Cheryl's family on February 1, 1978. A girl. Brian Kay arrived April 15, 1979. Our first granddaughter joined Deanna and Lon's family. Nice to have some girls, too. The following April 15, 1980, Dave and Cheryl were happy to have Sarah Joy join the family, and we're happy to have another granddaughter. Our last little granddaughter, Janelle Lynn, arrived December 2, 1981 to Deanna and Lon, evening up the girls with the boys. We are so lucky to have 6 beautiful, healthy blessings, which we thoroughly enjoy. This was taken for our church directory in 1980. Deanna and Lon's family, taken in 1986. Dave and Cheryl's family, taken in 1986. Dell enjoyed traveling. In 1976, Lauren, Mabel, Dell, and I went to Hawaii with a farmers group and visited 3 islands, Oahu, Maui, and the Big Island of Hawaii. We were nicely greeted and have had an enjoyable time. Isn't it any wonder when the opportunity came that we made a repeat trip in 1982, visiting the island of Oahu? Another friendly greeting. In 1978, Norman, Barbara, Lauren, Mabel, Dell, and I made a trip to Alaska. We had a real fun time. During the 36 years Dell worked at Walworks, we had the opportunity of taking advantage of several trips, including the Hawaiian trip, Las Vegas, Florida, the Caribbean cruise to Nassau, St. Martin, Jamaica, and Portugal. Portugal was our last trip in October of 1983. Dell was very determined to go, and his biggest wish was to attend a bullfight, which we did. April 3, 1983, our last Easter together as a family. Christmas Eve with the grandchildren in 1983. Dell retired in December 1983. He showed tremendous faith, courage, and determination following his surgery in March of 1980 and through the radiation and chemotherapy sessions during those 4 years. He never complained and always felt he'd had a good life, making it so much easier for us all. He passed away February 1, 1984. We greatly miss him, but have many wonderful memories of a kind and loving husband, father, and grandfather. I feel I was richly blessed to have shared him for over 38 years, and fortunate to have so many thoughtful and supportive families and friends.